All right, let's get right into this. The story we're walking through today, it's not about a king or a queen or some famous figure from a history book. No, this story is about you. We're going to place you directly into another world, another life, and see it through your eyes.
Right from the very first line, you're at the center of it all. It's not about watching someone else, it's about you. And the setting? It's immediate, and it is unflinching. We're not talking about charming cobblestones or quaint gas lamps here. This is Victorian London at its most raw, its most brutal.
So your life starts out defined by everything that's missing. Your cradle, it's literally a coal crate. Your home is just a single room, so thick with soot you can taste it, and it always smells of boiled cabbage. You see, it's not just about being poor. It's a world that attacks every single one of your senses with pure hardship.
And you know what's so striking here is that death, it isn't some big, shocking event. It's just always there, a constant presence. Your father, your brothers, they're gone before your story can even really begin. And your mother, she's left to try and navigate this nightmare alone, forced into work she can't even bring herself to speak about. It just shows you how fragile life is in a place like this.
And that right there, that is the first, most important lesson you ever learn. Forget arithmetic. Before you can even count to 10, you've already mastered a much harder truth. Your life is not guaranteed. And that knowledge, it's going to shape every single decision you make from here on out.
So, you grow up a bit, and you move into the next phase of your life. There's no chance for a real education, so the city itself, well, it becomes your teacher. The lessons aren't found in books, they're in the gutters, on the streets, and they're all about one thing, and one thing only: how to make it to the next day.
And these aren't just, helpful tips. They are the absolute commandments for survival. Just look at the power dynamics here. The police, they're a source of danger, not safety. And wealth, something as simple as a clean coat, it marks a divide so deep you're not even allowed to look across it.
And then, one afternoon, something happens. This is where the central symbol of the whole story comes in. You find this little silver button. It's probably bent, definitely scratched, worthless to absolutely anybody else. But to you, it's your identity. In a life where you own nothing, not your home, not your clothes, not even your own future, this tiny piece of metal becomes everything.
Wow. I mean, that quote just cuts right to the bone, doesn't it? Your mother, she promises you a way out, a proper job, and you can hear her voice crack when she says the word safer, but you choose to believe her. And why? Because the alternative, doubting the one person you have left, well, that's a pain that's just too great to bear.
And just like that, the illusion shatters. The respectable house turns out to be a brothel in Whitechapel, marked by a single red lamp. You haven't been given a job. You've been sold. It is the ultimate betrayal, one born from your own mother's absolute desperation.
It's brilliant how this shows the move from one prison to another. The rules of the street are just swapped out for the rules of the house. But the theme is exactly the same. You have to suppress your own humanity just to survive. Your feelings? They're a liability. Your smile? That's not yours anymore. It's a tool of the trade.
So chilling, right? After your first traumatic, violent encounter, after you've thrown up into a bucket, the woman in charge, Aunt Maggie, she frames it as a success. Congratulations. This is the moment. The moment your exploitation is made official. Your body is now a commodity. But just when things feel absolutely hopeless, just as the story reaches its darkest point, there's a dramatic shift. After countless blurred faces and nameless men, one man comes along who is different. And this is where the story pivots from just pure survival to the actual possibility of escape. This slide just lays out the difference so clearly, doesn't it? The other men, they're just a transaction of desperation and gin. But Samuel, he offers humanity. He brings tea, not liquor. He listens instead of just taking. And most importantly, he has a name. He sees you not as a girl for hire, but as a person with a past. And he offers a dream. But look at the details. It's not about wealth or fancy things. It's about safety, autonomy, a door that locks from the inside. I mean, for someone whose entire life has been one intrusion after another, that idea is revolutionary. For the first time, hope isn't just a feeling, it's a tangible place.
So you make a choice, a huge one. You give him the only thing you have ever truly owned. That silver button is no longer just a possession. It's become a symbol of trust, a physical piece of your hope for a shared future. It is the ultimate act of faith.
All right, so this brings us to the moment of truth, the climax. The plan is set. You're waiting by the river, a small bag in your hand, ready to leave this whole life behind forever. But remember what we said. In this world, the city always gets the last word.
And you can just feel the tension building with every passing minute. An hour goes by, then two. The fog, that classic symbol of London's oppressive weight, it just gets thicker and heavier. And dawn doesn't bring the hope of a new day. It creeps in like a witness to a crime. What a line.
He never comes. 4 simple words. That's all it takes to just extinguish everything. The hope, the dream, the entire future you had built up in your mind, it all just vanishes in that one quiet, devastating sentence.
And then comes the awful, brutal confirmation. They find his body down by the docks, robbed and murdered for his wages. And in his hand, a final heartbreaking detail: your button. He died clinging to that promise, and you get your symbol back, but now it's just coated in tragedy.
And with that last little ember of hope just gone, the story enters its final act. This isn't about survival anymore. This is about the slow, inevitable process of being completely consumed by the very city you tried so desperately to escape.
This slide is just a brutal list of everything being stripped away, one piece at a time. You sell your belongings for food, for drink. Your health completely fails from those so-called cures for sickness. And eventually, your very means of survival, your own body, isn't valuable anymore. The city is done with you.
But through all of it, amidst the total loss, you hold on to one object. Even when you have nothing left to sell, nothing left to pawn, this small thing remains. It's the only thread connecting you to your past, to your family, and to the one person who saw you as human, the one you dared to hope with.
And this is how it ends. You're anonymous, cold, silent. You die just as you lived, completely overlooked by the city. But the last thing we see, the final image, is so powerful. In your hand is the one piece of your story that remains, polished bright and catching the light.
This final quote, man, it just sums it all up. Your story, in the grand scheme of Victorian London, was common. You were just one of thousands. So the question it leaves us with is a really haunting one. How many other stories, each with their own silver button, their own private symbol of hope and loss, have just been completely forgotten by